and welcome to Motor India's YouTube channel. Our guest for today is Mr. Saurav Kumar, founder and CEO of Euler Motors. The company has launched a new variant, a new model for that matter. So let's ask him some details about the product. So just wanted to ask you about the particular aspect. What made you to just decide on the tubular frame for this model? Because this is only 110, while I think you have 1.5 already.
Yeah.
That is the T1500, which was not present there.
J. Yeah. So I think our choice of going tubular, and I think I was talking. So when you're thinking about chassis, like as mentioned, it's the foundation of the vehicle. Within that, the ladder frame is like what we have gone in cargo vehicle. That's the primarily used. Now you have options of using like a pressed sheet metal. When typically, if you see the earlier OEM versions, they would use the pressed C, and then versus the box section that we are building. The box sections offer these structural rigidity and torsional strength. So because in our batteries now, in our chassis, there is also these 200, 300 kgs of battery sitting within the vehicle, and then the roads are there. Cities are getting denser. Your number of amount of payload that is in the vehicle, that's also increasing. And there are scenarios when you have different encampments, you have situations where you would load over the capacity. In all of those scenarios, when we have looked at, because we are trying to make sure that the product matches what the customer is looking for. So when you look at all of that, the decision to put this was, how can I make sure that even with these increased payload and all of the previous, if you look at the product, they were designed originally at a 600, 700 in the ICE engine. They've recently gone to 7, 800, 900 kg, but we are designing from the first day like at a 1 ton. So we wanted to take all of these decisions into our product designing and wanted to make sure that we deliver the best one. Some of the global brand in the I think have used like the top tier. The expenses that you can think in the pickup trucks would have gone for some of these, but because we could do it and at a cost and affordability, then why not the best? So that's, I think.
Also, can you talk about the customer loyalty? Because how many are repeat customers?
Well, so that's like a significantly, like as we were talking about, roughly 65 to 7,000 wins a family, and then we already have more than 11,000 vehicle on the road. So that automatically tells you that the percentage, because a lot of them is also like single driver owner and partner that has come. So there is a lot of that. The people who have taken like that career, and I think some of that stories we also played, and within 3 years some of them has driven more than 1 lakh kilometer also. So which also, by the way, told us like the amount of long hours. Some of these we take it for granted, like when we are ordering, and but you look at like for somebody to humanly do lakhs of kilometer in within 3 years, that would mean like they would have driven the vehicle 33,000 in a, and that's a lot of kilometers every day, and they are doing it for their earning. So some of those design decisions that we were doing, we want that person to be the hero of the company, because if that person, you get him, I think we care for him. I think if that him or her, like whether it's in a 3-wheeler or a 4-wheeler, because you solve for him, he succeeds, the fleet owner will work for the brand that he's delivering, they all will succeed, his family will succeed, and we'll feel that we have played some part in their success. I think that is what truly, like, I think motivates us.
What percentage of your customers are women?
What percentage of your
customers are women? Women.
I would say, I wouldn't say that it's a lot, but I have seen examples of multiple, I think, brands pushing. In fact, our investors also push this, but percentage would be fairly, I would say, small. Now we have been trying to push as much as we can. That percentage is fairly small right now in the logistics.
What are your plans to enhance the retail points?
In the retail point, if you look at, like, I think by end of last year, we were roughly around 35 network channel partners, and I think in 2 years we had gotten And today you might have seen that within 6 months we have added another 30. By end of the year, I think we will deliver, I think, at least 100 touch points. So our focus is on a very strong, I think, on this job. And by the way, the woman, we have a lot of I would say fleet owners who are women. We have some of the entrepreneurs in the channel partner as well. Some of our people at the factory were making these batteries and some of that there. So wherever we feel we can add any value in the societal impact while we are building this, would love to.
Can you narrate what's happening in the EV industry segment, especially in the small commercial vehicles? What's the trend?
EVs are expensive. There is, I mean, if you see across, I mean, globe in any segment, you look at two wheelers, you look at cars, you look at commercial vehicle, you look at any, even in US and on Europe, and you will find EVs expensive because, I mean, you have that entire 7 years of the cost of operation being much lower. Some of those benefits are there. But we wanted to make sure that how do we solve for the drivers, the fleet owners, because they are running a lot of, like, which we are taking currently, like we order a package, it delivers, you order a grocery, it comes, there is someone coming in the morning. And that had been our thinking. Even if you look at the three-wheeler that October 21 that we launched, I mean, you had these crumple zones and everything in a three-wheeler, which nobody used to build. I mean, everybody said, "Bilkul cost saving karte hain, like make it a small cabin for the driver." But when you put the person into it, the human first design, I mean, this is coming from a different industry. When you put that person, then suddenly you start looking at what happens, an accident happens, how will he be safe? And then those are the things that takes into your decision parameter. I think, especially even with this product, that was, I would say, centerpiece, which I was talking about, the born electric का फायदा क्या है? I mean, that born electric का फायदा ये भी है कि yes, I think one gentleman did ask the question, which was correct. Like, as you're scaling, we do have to work a lot because not all of this comes naturally. कि scale पे कैसे बनाना है, scale पे service कैसे करना है. These we are learning, and our customers, the ecosystem, they give us feedback, the inputs, and we listen and we improve. But the benefit of it was also that because we didn't know a lot of the things, we were like, we thought ये क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, इस पे तो space होना चाहिए, ये गाड़ी इतना एक्सीडेंट क्यों हो रही है, इसका सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी कैसे कम कर सकते हैं. सो लॉट ऑफ द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल वी वर एबल टू pour in the product. I think that what you saw today, I mean, I think there was a GST question also. Even after the impact of GST reduction, the ICE engine vehicle that is available, I would say, at a 800 900 kg in the segment, it is at like a 5.99 or earlier it was, I think, 6.3 6.4. After that 10% delta, I think they are around 5, which is where you're getting your EVs at as well, and at a 1 ton. So I think that part is something that we are very excited about. I think, and not just like, we are the only product here. I mean, globally also, when we try to find example, we don't find a lot of it. And especially when I see a lot of this geopolitical and all of those things that are going around, I think it's really important for us as entrepreneurs, ecosystem, to not just like follow what is like, what other people are doing globally, but how can we also push the India onto the global? How can we not just, I would say, consume these vehicles, but also let's just say an export? And we opportunity, I think that is what drives us internally, why we would want to make some of these. I think if you look at a lot of OEMs, they would want to just buy a VCU from someone or something, and they would assemble and sell. They don't want to go into the entire vertical integration in the value chain. The reason we want to do that is to be very, very close to the consumer. What is it that they really want? Because then when you know, then you can change it. Otherwise, you have to depend on someone to move, to deliver. So it takes a lot of feedback loop, a lot of time goes away. But when you do that, you're able to respond. We put something, we realized, okay, this is great, but बीच में भी 1 ton पे भी हैं लोग जिनको चाहिए vehicle जहाँ पे affordability and performance is not getting matched. Can we match that? We responded within a year. But of course, the learning and all of that is going for, the question is going in our mind for 2.5 years. How do you solve for that?
So, from the battery point of view, you have 3 options, and then from the load point of view, you have 5 options. That means the permutation combination will work. Then you will have at least 15 models, variants.
So at a high level, there are 3 of them. You have the city variant, you have the fast charge, and then you have the max variant. City variant is, let's just say, you're only working on a light load application like e-commerce and FMCG, where you don't need a lot of loading, and versus you're going all the way to, let's just say, the performance series, where you do need heavy loading, construction, electronic. So you have these 3. Within these 3, you can choose any kind of load body. You can go for a flat, you can go for a medium. Box. Because, and this you would also see on the Indian roads. If you will see, not all vehicles will come out, because everybody designs for the application they are looking for. Someone is looking for, if it's hardware, it will be bit open. If it's a package, let's say e-commerce, then everything will be covered.
From the market share point of view, how this new product will help you penetrate further?
See, so I think they're very important, I think, question. This product, I think, will accelerate the acceleration. I definitely feel so, because see, when you move, you also push the ecosystem to move, and when the ecosystem will move, other brands will also take, they will also move. Suppliers will also take notice that, okay, there are these now affordable product, we must get into this segment and must, like, otherwise the opportunities would move on. So I think if the electrification increases, I think the pie is significant for multiple players to operate. Of course, within, if the pie is bigger, then, like, we would, as today also in the cities that we are operating, we are the top 3 brands. So that, I think, will continue to make sure that we are the top 3 brands in the commercial vehicle. Right now, our focus is on the primary, that how do you accelerate the ecosystem? How do you get this ecosystem to move, not just follow what every other OEMs and everybody is doing, but more like how do you push these sort of, because अगर अभी 1.5% है आपका 4-wheeler में last, I think, month penetration, overall it was at 1%. So it's a very small, like roughly 1,500-2,000 vehicles. It's a very small. It doesn't work, doesn't make any dent on the ICE to EV transition story. So that I think is what I would truly look forward from, like, be able to come to let's just say, and meet you next year and say that yes, we did this, and it moved the needle a bit, because this is also we coming and telling you everything entire how we are thinking about, and I'm sure, like, we will want to do everything to push.
Saurav, thank you so much for your time.